Do you have a platform? Do you have good doctor retention? Do you have culture? Do you have team member retention, right? Do you have integrated financial systems? Do you have an HR function? History tells a lot about the future, and so understanding, how companies get from point A to point B, and their formula or algorithm for growth is critical. And the more, again, like as that becomes easier to understand and more predictable, there's more value to the business. And I think the same thing happens in, everyone likes to talk about valuations in dental. Like there's a lot of disparity between valuations of group practices and single practices, and it's all related to ultimately risk, right? How diversified are those assets? And it's also related to conviction and growth. Like what are people's or investors' conviction that this platform can grow EBITDA or cash flow over time, right? And that conviction is driven by, do you have a platform? Do you have good doctor retention? Do you have culture? Do you have team member retention, right? Do you have integrated financial systems? Do you have an HR function? Like all of those things are leading to higher valuations if you have them, because then investors can sit there and say, hey, I have conviction that in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, here's what your business is going to earn. And if you have conviction in that growth, you can pay a higher multiple day one. If you don't, you can't.
Yeah. Okay. So just doing, the work nobody wants to do. I'm guessing you were reading financial reports and quarterly earnings and that sort of thing, and creating your thesis around why you think it's going to go up. So yeah, that's good. And I love how it translates over, into everything, right? Every business venture that you do, every aspect of investing, like these are core tenets that you need to take with you. So was there, like, between Wall Street and investing, you said you did some investing in some private companies too. What was in between, when you finished Wall Street and you started doing DSOs?
Well, I started directly, and so basically, I started directly into dental. I left Wall Street to full-time run the dental platform. And basically what I found as I did the research on dental, at first I was like, oh, great idea. This is going to be interesting, and maybe I'm the first one to think about it. Come to realize, every private equity group in their brother has a dental platform. Yeah. And so I did a bunch of research on the industry, and I also was able to get in front of a lot of the CEOs of the larger groups, and was really able to get conviction in the drivers of dental consolidation at the time, which I think are only even more well known and understood now. And so as I looked at the landscape and looked at how fragmented the market was versus other components of medical and all the different pressures on doctors with student loan debt and sort of flat earnings for a long period of time, it seemed obvious to me that there's going to be a lot of need for buyers in the dental market over time, and so I decided to leave Wall Street and pursue this full time, because again, I had conviction in the risk reward of, hey, I know what I can buy these practices for. I know if we can improve them and optimize them, what those pro forma or adjusted valuation numbers would look like, and that was really, really attractive to me.